What is up, my friends? It is Thursday evening's Anfield Agenda transfer news roundup, and I hope that you are all in good spirits. So these are the questions that we're going to try and answer today. Are we really going to see Luis Diaz move to Barcelona in the last couple of weeks of this window? What's going on with Trent AlexanderArnold's contract situation? Have we finally found out who the centre-back we're going to move for is? And a little bit, of course, on Sepp van den Berg and some new interest in him. All of that and more over the next 8 to 10 minutes. But of course, we want to know your thoughts. So let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and of course our Clips channel as well. I'll be back tonight at 8:45 where we'll go through it in the longer form. Until then, let's get stuck into it. Right. Diaz, Barcelona, where are we at? So all summer we've had this weird situation where we've all known that Liverpool will entertain an offer for Luis Diaz. The figures have varied from 75 million all the way down to 50 million. But now the reports from Pipa Sierra and a few others are starting to suggest that Barca are getting serious about their interest. They obviously wanted Olmo and Nico Williams in this window. They got Dani Olmo in, but they couldn't get a deal done for Nico Williams, so they may turn their attention to Diaz. Now, I think Anfield Sector have summarised this perfectly because this is what I think will happen as well. Anfield Sector have posted to say, honestly, I'm not ready for 2 weeks of Barcelona wasting our time for no reason because that's what will happen. Or they'll make an insulting offer and lean on Lucho to push for the move. Exactly. And that would not give us time to find the replacement, who will probably look and sound a little bit like Anthony Gordon. But what do we do here? Well, obviously, if Barca want Lucho, they're going to have a time frame of come up with the money in X amount of days or no dice. Because we can carry on selling players in this window. Bobby Clark's going to move on. Obviously, we've already sold another youngster as well, Fabio Carvalho. We're seeing Sepp van den Berg maybe go. We're seeing McConnell go out on loan. And a couple of others. So it's time to start adding to the ranks, not intentionally weakening ourselves. So Barca should be given a deadline for this. And they can't do the usual tactic here of just telling Lucho it's now or never. Because that's what they do. That's what Barcelona have always done. And that's probably what Real Madrid are going to try and do with Trent as well. And I'll move on to talk about that situation in a moment. But look, for me, there is a clear understanding here that Diaz, the club feel they can improve on Diaz. They might brief otherwise, but you're not entertaining offers for somebody with 3 years to go on a relatively low wage unless you think you can move them on. And of course you'd rather move them on than give them a new deal and pay them money that maybe you think they're not worth. So I guess the question is, how quickly can Barca move this along? And I think we'll find that out over the next few days. There's another thing from Pipa Sierra to say that Liverpool at this point aren't offering a contract extension to Diaz. Well, why would they? They have him for 3 more years on a relatively low wage. You know, if they're looking to move him on, I don't see them offering him a new deal anytime soon. So let's wait and see how that one pans out. But of course, I want to know your thoughts. For me, I've always thought he moves on this window, but it was just a matter of who, whether it be PSG or Barcelona. If any of them come up with the money, I think he moves, and I think it probably moves quite quickly. Now, the centre-back search. Seems like we've gone full circle here. We've gone back 18 months ago perhaps. It looks as if Liverpool are plotting a move for Gonçalo Inácio of Sporting Lisbon. At least that's according to multiple reports today. Now there's a couple of things to keep an eye on here. One, he shares the same agent as Bruno Fernandes, who was just over in the UK sorting out Manchester United captain's new deal. So he is around. So Liverpool could sit down with the agent fairly straightforwardly. So that could happen. On top of that, it looks as if £38 million is the number being mentioned by people, which is considerably less than the €60 million in a Sporting Lisbon release clause. Now, it is very similar to the release clause he had last summer before he signed a new deal at Sporting. So if they're willing to do business at £38 million, sound, let's go get it done. But again, it poses the question, why did we not do this last summer? If he's the one that we were targeting, that all the metrics were pointing towards, we could have got him for this price last summer and maybe won the league. And the reason I say that is because we needed defensive reinforcements. So I'm a little bit confused, but again, if he is the target, no problem. Let's get cracking. Let's get moving and bring him in. Because sitting around isn't going to solve this situation. We play on Saturday. We need to get players through the door as quickly as possible. He won't be involved on Saturday, obviously, but we still need to keep moving. Now, on that, Trent AlexanderArnold. A lot of worry around his situation at the minute, and it seems to be all based off one simple post that's been put out there that said Trent AlexanderArnold, out of respect for the club, doesn't want to play out his contract negotiations in public. I don't know how people have gone from that into panic mode. I really don't. It probably means that he's going to get a big bumper new contract on a load of dough, but that was probably always going to be the case. So Liverpool have probably until the end of this window to get that deal signed. If you take the risk and go past the end of the window and you go into September time, well then you're running the risk of him signing a pre-contract with anybody else in January if you don't get that agreement done with him. So hurry up, please. Get it done. Show us, Mr. Hughes, Mr. Edwards, that you can actually do something. Because I don't know what everyone's been paid for so far during this summer transfer window, but they've absolutely done nothing other than pile on the embarrassment to the club. So again, get Trent sorted, please. Virgil van Dijk, well, we've seen him hung out to dry a little bit as well. Wheeled out in front of the media to talk about the expected signings, the trusting of the club, and still no signing. So what's going to happen with Virgil? Well, again, it doesn't look like the club are in any rush to sort out that contract. So take of that what you will. Sepp van den Berg. Could we finally see somebody pony up the dough to see Sepp van den Berg leave? Well, Bayer Leverkusen have now joined the race, according to Kicker over in Germany. Liverpool are holding out for £20 million. PSV have walked away because they can't get to the number. There's been other interest that have been linked to him as well, but for him, you would imagine, if he could move away from Liverpool, go back to the Bundesliga and play for the Bundesliga winners, I think that would be a move that would surely tempt Sepp van den Berg. Of course, getting to work with Xabi Alonso as well. But it does pose the question, are we being a little bit dismissive here as Liverpool fans if Xabi Alonso thinks he's good enough? Is he good enough for us? Well, I would say our levels are probably a little bit higher. Now, you're going to say to me, Craig, hang on a minute. They won the Bundesliga last year. They went invincible. What I mean is the standard of the league in general is a little bit higher. So our standards with Sepp and the style of football would probably have to take account of that. So let's see if someone ponies up the money. If they do, then Sepp van den Berg will also move on in this window. And again, we're still waiting for that first signing. The big August was promised. I hope you're all on social media venting your frustrations. Now do so, of course, in a respectful manner. No vitriol, nothing negative like that. But let the owners know how disappointed you are. It's our job to do that as fans. So Lucas Stevenson, another Liverpool youngster, according to The Athletic, is going to go up and join Dundee United on a season-long loan. So 20-year-old has opted to move north of the border, according to The Athletic, and he will sign on there for the upcoming campaign. So that is pretty much it for me, ladies and gentlemen, with regards to what we know now. But tonight at 8:45, I will have gotten a little bit more information. I will have spoken to a few more people. And of course, I want to know how you're all feeling right now. We are now inside the final, well, I was going to say half a month of the transfer window. There's exactly 15 days left to go for Liverpool to figure this all out and rescue this transfer window. This idea, again, of maybe rolling the dice for another season, seeing how we get on, it's just kicking the can down the road. Don't fall for it. Don't accept it. We should be strengthening. They have a job to do with the club. It's on them to get it right. So make sure you're vocal. Make sure you speak up. And make sure they know how unsatisfied we are at, I was going to say a disappointing window. It's been a window where we've gone backwards because all we've done is sell. Over to you guys now. I'll talk to you at 8:45. Going to record the preview today as well for the game against Ipswich. That's going to be coming out later on or tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out for that as well. And I'll catch you at 8:45. Much love. Bye-bye.